foreign exchange for the country and to maximize gold reserve accumulation by the Bank of Ghana. And this is a very important agenda for the government, and we feel privileged to be entrusted with this responsibility. So we hit the ground running right from day one. As a result, on the 14th of this month, that is 14th of April 2025, we issued a statement in which we announced that all foreigners in the gold trading sector have been given about a month to transition from the old regime, which is the old PMMC, Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources regime, to this new Ghana Gold Board regime. And by that, what I mean is that under the previous regime, a person, be it a Ghanaian or a foreigner, could trade in gold, buy or sell gold, if the person had a license from the Precious Minerals Marketing Company, PMMC. A person could also purchase and deal in gold, which includes exporting gold if he had a license to that effect from the minister responsible for mines. That's the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. But these laws have been either repealed or amended by the Ghana Gold Board Act 2025, Act 1140. And as a result, that regime has changed. PMMC is undergoing dissolution without winding up under Section 289 of the Companies Act. So very soon, PMMC will be deleted from the list of companies by the Registrar of Companies. Again, the powers of the minister responsible for mines to issue licenses to persons to purchase and deal in gold from the small-scale sector and export same has also been repealed by the Ghana Gold Board Act. So Section 78 of the Ghana Gold Board Act provides that any person who had a license under this old regime, whether the license was issued to the person by the PMMC or the minister responsible for lands and natural resources, that license has ceased to be valid upon the coming into effect of the Ghana Gold Board Act. But we decided to allow for some time for people to transition. And so we provided for a grace period of almost 1 month. And we indicated in our press release of 14th April 2025 that all foreigners have up to the 30th of April 2025, which happens to be today, to exit the market. Because we intend to enforce the Ghana Gold Board Act effective tomorrow. What that simply means is that if you're a foreigner and you're found to be buying gold in the local market tomorrow, or selling gold, or to be dealing in gold in any shape or form, you are committing an offense. You are committing a crime. You will be arrested if caught, and you'll be prosecuted in accordance with law. And that is why we thought it necessary not only to issue a press release, but to call this press briefing so that nobody can have an excuse. Well, ignorance of the law is no excuse, but we don't enjoy arresting, detaining, prosecuting anybody. And that is why we want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. We want to give everybody ample notice. And so we are using this medium to remind all foreigners in the local gold trading sector that the deadline for them to exit the sector is today, 30th April 2025. And that from tomorrow going, it shall constitute a punishable criminal offense for a foreigner to buy or sell gold in the local gold trading sector. That is the first information we want to share with you. Now, the obvious question that flows from this is, what then becomes of foreigners who desire to trade in gold in Ghana? That, as I've already explained, is prohibited by the Ghana Gold Board Act. You cannot trade in gold locally, directly, okay? But as we indicated in our press release of 14th April, which we reiterated in another press release on, I believe, the 23rd of April this year, you can apply to the gold board as a foreigner to buy gold from Ghana through the gold board. So foreigners are allowed to be off-takers. So don't get us wrong. We are not saying that foreigners cannot buy gold from Ghana. If you're a foreigner, you are allowed to buy gold from Ghana. But we are saying you can't go to Takwa or Pristia or Kumasi and set up an office and buy gold from miners or traders. No. Come to the government's representative, which is the Ghana Gold Board. Apply, negotiate, and buy the gold directly from us. And we will ship the gold to your country or wherever you want us to ship the gold to. Number two, foreigners can be off-takers or partners for Ghanaians who will be granted self-financing aggregator licenses. Now, if you look at the 4 categories of licenses we've published on our website, which we have said people can apply for, and by the way, to apply for any license from the Gold Board, you must be a Ghanaian. Now, to qualify to do that, you need to show that you have a minimum capital to buy at least 50 kg of gold, which in today's terms is approximately CD equivalent of $5 million. And this money you need to prove either through audited financial statements of your company and or bank statements. You can do it through that, or you can do it through the bank statement and financial statement of any investor, partner, or off-taker you may have outside the country who is willing to send you money so that you buy gold for them. Safe to say that they cannot send you the money under the current regime directly. They have to send you the money through the Gold Board. The Gold Board then converts the money into cedis at the interbank rate and hands over the money, transfers the money to the self-financing aggregator, who is a Ghanaian. The self-financing aggregator uses the cedis to procure gold for the Gold Board and makes his commission on that trade as a Ghanaian locally. Then the Gold Board exports the gold to the off-taker, who sends the money to the Ghanaian self-financing aggregator through the Gold Board. So that is our arrangement. So far I've explained to you 2 levels or ways by which foreigners can participate in gold trading, even under this new Ghana Gold Board regime. And that is number 1, to come directly to the Gold Board, to be off-takers. They negotiate. If there is an agreement, we sign agreements, and then we can ship gold to you, and then you pay us in accordance with the terms of that agreement. Or you can finance a self-financing aggregator, but that financing must go through the Gold Board, and it is all part of the terms and conditions of a self-financing aggregator license. The last role foreigners can still play in the gold trading sector under the Ghana Gold Board regime is when a foreigner wants to go into value addition. If you're a foreigner and you want to set up a refinery, you can apply to the Gold Board for a license to set up a refinery. If you're a foreigner and you want to set up a jewelry production company, you can apply for a license and we'll allow you to set up a jewelry manufacturing company. But the conditions of that license will require you at all times to buy gold directly from the Gold Board. So you cannot say that I have a jewelry production company, so I'm going to Takwa to buy gold, or I'm going to Obuasi to buy gold. You will come to Gold Board and say, I have this jewelry manufacturing company or refinery. I need 50 kg of gold every month to feed it. So you apply to the Gold Board, and every month we'll allocate you that gold at a certain price that you'll be paying. You will have to pay to the Gold Board. Because we know that a lot of foreigners who can no longer trade directly in the local markets will resort to value addition and say, we want to go into jewelry production. But our research over the years indicate that most of these so-called jewelry production companies only use that as a ruse to smuggle gold out of the country. So they say they are manufacturing jewelry. Their production capacity is not about 5 kg of gold a month, but you can see records of them buying 50 kg of gold. What do they use the gold for? Not for jewelry. They only use their jewelry making license as the decoy to buy the gold, and they smuggle the rest. We are not going to allow that. If you want to produce jewelry, we thank you for that. We appreciate that. You want to refine gold, any value addition venture you want to embark upon, you are welcome to do so. But you need to apply for a license, and you can procure gold in Ghana, but you have to do it directly through the Gold Board. So this is also the second information we want to share with the general public, particularly foreigners who desire to trade in gold in Ghana through your very esteemed platforms. Lastly, we want to address Ghanaians involved in gold trading in Ghana. We gave all PMMC license holders and holders of licenses issued by the minister responsible for mines an ultimatum which elapses today, 30th of April, to apply for new licenses under the Ghana Gold Board Act. Because as I've already explained, per Section 78 of the Ghana Gold Board Act, those PMMC, Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources licenses have ceased to be valid. But we've given you 1 month to apply for a new license under the Act. That is what the law says, that a person whose license has ceased to be valid can apply to the Gold Board for a new license under the Gold Board Act. So we gave you up to the 30th. Today is 30th. But we know that most of you have not been able to apply at all. We can also see from the back end of our website and the license application portal that some of you have started the process of applying, but have not yet completed the application process. A few of you have submitted your applications, and a decision is yet to be taken by the Gold Board. Now, in view of this, management of Gold Board has decided to extend the time frame provided for Ghanaians who already have licenses to trade in gold. We've decided to extend the time frame for you to apply for a new Gold Board license. And that time frame is from today, the 30th of April, 2025, to 21st of April, 2025. 21st of May, sorry, did I say April? So today, 30th of April to 21st of May, 2025. So we are giving you another 3 weeks. We believe that this is fair, and this time frame should be adequate for anybody who is serious and desirous of applying for a Gold Board license to do so. And in our press release dated 23rd April 2025, we explained the process for license applications under the Gold Board Act. And just for purposes of for purposes of emphasis, let me indicate again that if you want a license, you must go on the website of the Gold Board, which is goldboard.gov.gh. Goldboard.gov.gh. And Gold Board is GOLDBOD, not BOARD, but BOD. And when you go, check the licensing tab, click on it, and follow the process there. Make sure you read the requirements and terms and conditions of the license, accept it before you begin the process. You'll be required to create an account. Even before that, you'll be required to pay an application fee, create an account, and then you will get the application forms, which you have to diligently and meticulously fill. Because if you make serious omissions or errors in the application, it may go against you in terms of the decision that the Gold Board will take on that application. So you take your time, do a good job, fill it, and once you're qualified, you will hear from us in the next couple of weeks. Even though the law gives us 60 days to review and consider all applications, we've put in place a special system to expedite all license applications to pave way for the commencement of business of the Gold Board. So we want to appeal to all service providers in the gold trading industry who are Ghanaians, Because if you're a foreigner, you can't apply for the license, so there is no need giving you this new extension. This extension applies to only Ghanaians. And not just Ghanaians, but Ghanaians who already have licenses to trade in gold. You have 3 more weeks to apply for a new license. And I want to state for the records, with the media bearing witness, that this new timeline, this new deadline of 21st May 2025 is not subject to further extension. It will not be extended. So take advantage of it, because by the 21st of this month, only persons who have been granted licenses by the Gold Board will be tolerated in the gold trading sector. If you are a Ghanaian and you hold a license under PMMC or the ministry responsible for mines, and you don't take steps to apply for a new license before the 21st, you will be committing a punishable criminal offense if caught to be trading in gold after the 21st of May. So please, and please, the portal is opened. Take advantage, apply for a license, and we assure you that if you qualify, we will grant you the license. No kululu, no kalala. The process is very fair and competitive. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for honoring our invitation. Now, because of our audience, the target audience for this message, and the fact that most of them speak vernacular, I will crave your indulgence to do a quick summary of this presentation in the P language for their sake. I also see UTV and some account stations here, so let me quickly do that. Inti abusian for your friend when you're born. And then Ukuda 30th April 2025. Na te said the munina munim no. Ghana Gold Board say emra a tire chino ababa be yembra. 29th March in a parliament a passes amrano. And 2nd of April afia mu and umampini Mahamad is a shembrana. Sintimrano ababa beye emra eye adwuma and Gold Board so yafiti adwuma di ase nti yegusu ayeye nhyehyeye with registrar general na yi PMMC free okra na just a Gold Board atiki over fully nam senti no obi bia oye gold adwuma oto gold eton gold export to gold bia no I was a Ghana Gold Board mraya ababa ye mre wudi so. Na the Mrane Chene says now our license under PMMC and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Now this our license not too good and now the tongue good. So our license no Mrafufui ababichem. And ninti and on the 14th of April, yade krata babontin ebe bo munyina mokoko se Mrafufu abeni nti obi entu ana mountain temso. Na nka bae neno ubia meje license from Gold Board. But who say enye nipa ni nyina na etimi awie omo applications enye nipa ni nyina so na omo etimi kura fiti application ase nti ene ye frame wa na ye pese ye de famoso ma Ghana for titu omo ye gold adwuma nyina te se timeline deadline no ya extend ya Ghana for omo license dada either from PMMC and the Ministry for Lands and Natural Resources obutimi to gold and obutimi ton gold no ya extend here free and 30th April to 21st of May. Now the can say after 21st of May, yenye extension be a bit. It is our boga ball takwa kumasi baby. I will be a way you go the juma. Say PMMC license now the juma. And now say Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources license now the juma as a bullion trader. O license no ewu. Inti brana beje fufro. And sana 21st April May aba. So one meje for na 21st May ba. Ni ye wuse still to good and I would ton good. Ye chewa unto be gazel me license that ni bisa license on awu. And nam senior semi who see here intin and nay yes answer for in shame we. Inti ye best stress ubia be this and she so. Ye nu anoma brofo. And now one ye Ghana for omo gold trading sector anymore. We munti twinti they making kra munti ase. But Ghana for ni bi ni mu na ye adwuma. Nti we Ghana ni na ni broni na ye adwuma. Ti ase se abrofo no omo de omo deadline so ne. 30th of April. If you neko, Ghana ni a obeton gold ama broni bia no. Ye chi broni na ye be chi waka ho because we an abetor sa na lawyer for kano of that crime. Na obetimi akọ jail between 15 to 25 years. We gold ni nyina so ye beje ama Ghana ban. Enti se won pese obi be chiw and obi be ju gold and obi do be court wa. En koton gold ma obroni. Ton gold no ma Ghana ban. Eye Ghana Gold Board. Ya nam sifo aye from aggregators. Ewo all the regions are udu gold no kwa ye beto ama. Ba we miner na koton gold ma obroni after ne. Ni ye chiwa ye do be famra kwan so. Uni broni ni nyina no ye de mo be famra kwan so. Inti free na ko broni bi aniwa e wasi hu se auto gold directly from the market. Abrofo no de ne se omo pe gold o omo be gold board hono ma beto gold no directly. Na oya mine na se me de broni ne ma misika se me ne ye adwuma o ma usika se oni ne nya adwuma wo ye adwuma na koton gold ma gold board sika wo benya no na watua ne sika ma no untimi mfa gold ntua ne ka. So yen tolerate abrofo hiding behind pre-financing of miners to say me na me ma miner we sika ma na ye adwuma nti miner na wi a me gi me sika in gold ne de or ye broni untimi nto from the miner gold board nko na mrama ne kwan so betimi ato ama Ghana ban enti se obroni no ma wonfidi a na weton gold ama gold board unya usika na watua ne ka ene wo watua interest ama na eno na nya yasem ba se wo beton gold ama no na se ye chimu a munyina matomra gold no ye beje na yaton e de ama oman no na de ote ho ma ye che wo no so no ye ton gold na ye de gold no mu sika no 10% ebema no the whistle blower and ye be chen the 10% of the value of the gold enti we de ye kokobo ene afutuo ne ye de ma ye nyina ye ho se ye nyina ye bedi mmra so na de si aban ni so nti a wakofa gold board ya be ye be boa ma na bam because aban ankasa se o sika o de to gold na with the gold no akopɛ dollars abɔman mu na obi a wɔpɛ dollar edi dwa bi atimi anya bi sɛ na be ya dollar be buso na sidi anya ahoden na dollar ahoden aba fam a ɛyɛ asɛmpa wɔsi ye nyina ye ta aban na chi na ye hwese ebebam because ebam sa ye nyina ye benya so mfaso ye tie ne sɛ obekodwom no na bibia aboa ye den aba fam ade bia ye de dollar kra ba bia na ne boa ye den aba fam because sidi minimum 15 years one way you crowd betimi akodam up to 25 years enti we ne afutuo ne kokobonsem a ene ye pese obi bia asote na deadline of 21st April ye dia todwa May 21st May 2025 say na ye deadline obi a wo pay license bia by that time na was say wa apply no ye be say ye be taking it seriously because after 21st ye extended deadline ni bia ye passy good board umra unofficially ye bo omo ye exports amane say ye mo up to 11th April to stop all exports ye extended 14th April ye extended to 30th April and they extended to 21st May. This is the last extension. There will not be any extension until me month to ho Ghana for the 20 be a mu be per month to ho me month to ho meye I've a bedroom stage, you know, 21st May, but now we need license, so person go to good. Nothing when you're buying a money. At this stage, if there are any questions, we'll take that and then we'll wrap up. All right.
Right, Sammy. I want to find out the updates with regard to those who are arrested. In the press release, they were said to be suspects. So we want to find out how far with that.
Well, at this stage, they are suspects because they've not been convicted by any court of competent jurisdiction for the crimes they have been accused of. But as we indicated in our press release of 23rd April 2025, they have been remanded into custody for a period of 2 weeks, and we are expected to reappear in court with them on the 12th of May. So by that time, investigations would have gone far, and I believe prosecution can begin.
Still on that, these suspects in the statements again were said to be using Ghanaians as
A front.
As
A front, yeah.
Meanwhile, they were the beneficial. It's a very great area to be able to get to know. How are you planning to or because it's a great area until you get a whistleblower it's difficult to
I mean, under the Ghana Gold Board Act, we have expressly provided for the offense of fronting, because foreigners are not allowed to directly participate in the gold trading sector. Fronting has been criminalized. It is an offense under the Ghana Gold Board Act, and it's not difficult at all to detect. So for Ghanaians who want to sidestep the law and assist foreigners to undermine the national interest, they should be rest assured that they will be found. Their sins will find them out. It wasn't difficult at all for us to know in the case of these suspects that there was a Ghanaian fronting for them. When you arrest them and you begin to probe, the Ghanaians will begin the confessions. And you will know from the records of the company who really owns the company and who runs the company, who is a signatory to the accounts, who signed checks and all that. You will know. So it will not be difficult. It's not impossible to know the beneficial owner or alter ego of a company. It's all a function of intelligence gathering and the right investigative approach. So we want to assure the media, the nation, that we will be arresting any Ghanaian who tries to front for a foreigner, because we know that there are some who like to do that. Thank you. Well, you know that GOLDBOD used to be PMMC, right? And PMMC is in the business of buying gold. So all the gold that the Bank of Ghana exports to bring in forex under their domestic gold purchase program, 90% of that gold is purchased for them and exported for them by the PMMC, now GOLDBOD. So we are already doing that. And on a day-to-day basis, we buy gold and assay the gold and export the gold on behalf of Bank of Ghana.
Are we reaching 3 tons?
Right now, we've not hit 3 tons, but we are very close. I can tell you that for April, we are hovering around 2.5 tons. And so we are optimistic that by the time GOLDBOD directly commences the purchasing, we should be able to hit or cross 3 tons. But for the amount of money which was approved for us, you know the process. Government bureaucracies, you have to go through a lay-down process before the money is transferred. We've started the process with approval of the Controller and Accountant General. Our accounts are being opened, and we are going to write sometime next week to the Ministry of Finance for the monies to be transferred once the accounts are opened. And once we get the funds, we'll be ready to begin the purchasing and exports of gold. This time around, not for and on behalf of Bank of Ghana, but on our own behalf for the country. Yeah.
Finally, when you talked about foreigners who invest in a Ghana, say, expecting gold in exchange, and that this, in some way or the other, curtailed that, I just want to hear directly from you, is this part of the government agenda to clamp down on Ghana, say, especially through foreigners' investment?
Yeah, you see, small-scale mining is a preserve of Ghanaians. So, and it must remain so. So, if a foreigner cannot engage in small-scale mining, why should they be financing a Ghanaian to engage in small-scale mining and buying gold from small-scale mining? So that whole thing was a contradiction, a bundle of contradiction. And that is why we are saying foreigners cannot do that. So we know that once they cannot buy the gold, one way of sidestepping the law would be to go to miners and say, we want to give you money or equipment to finance you, so that you pay us for the equipment. We are not buying the gold, but you pay us for the pre-financing we are giving you with gold. And we are saying that is not allowed. If you have any pre-financing arrangement with a foreigner, no problem. Pay them. If they give you cash, pay them cash. They give you equipment, pay them cash. You can't give them gold. It is indirect gold purchasing, and we will not tolerate that. If you are found culpable, the law will deal with you. As for illegal mining, the fight against illegal mining, that is a preserve. That is within the jurisdiction and mandate of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and the Ministry for Environment and Science. Ours is just an auxiliary role, but they are leading the fight, and so far, so good. We are proud of the significant strides that has been made in the fight against illegal mining, which any objective mind can attest to. That should be all, eh? You too. I see, but your question has been answered, right?
Yes.
Okay. UTV for me, question in English. Yeah. Well, currently, we have one down there. Okay, it's okay. Okay, my make it clear. In Primprianga, your company, bisa. Your friend of PGL, PMMC, a jewelry company. And your shops, Kobe's and Watche across Ghana, Oko Kumasi Airport. I was almost on jewelry be over there. We see former your jewelry, papa, handmade quality jewelry. And Sikafona mo and more monfawa. Namun to be my ye jewelry, good no. Yes, I told the Nijina Aquaman on $100, but ye the B Ebema PGL for normally a jewelry. Now, other people almost also person more jewelry, tablets, coins, bars, so have value addition a yininano. Ye be more good nibi. And you see, your papa Mohammed needs to say, a befa good board so. Na Ghana, yenya a very strong value addition structure in Ghana. They said you could Dubai Dubai for money good, and so more go souk. Go chain I'll pay you we as be call Dubai go souk I'll be nyabi. Into yesterday na see and to say under the through the vision of His Excellency President Mahamano. GOLDBOD Bebwa, Amagana, so yenya good souk. You friend a good village. And the company or your jewelry will lead this agenda. No, your Yankasa GOLDBOD, your subsidiary, your friend of PGL. They say there, you knew PMMC, you're there about GOLDBOD. So, by in check round, we bet a lot about PGL because the restructuring of PGL, so you fit here, and we will make it a world-class jewelry company in line with the vision of Omanpenyi Mahama Edamwasi. Okay, so thank you very much. For any... What law? What special dispensation? Yeah, there wasn't much scrutiny, but that's a different matter. We'll have that conversation some other time because we'll change that regime. GOLDBOD will change that as a regime. So no, that's not. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very, very much. I'm happy to see most of you. I wish we had time so that we could engage, but thank you. Kwame Menka, Mr. Siedu, our Director Corporate Planning is here. Kwame Menka, Media Relations Officer. Zainab Alasan, his deputy, is also here. So take their numbers. If you need any follow-up interviews, then you contact them. If there is any clarification you need, you contact them. Our doors are always open, and anytime you knock on our doors, we'll open. So thank you very, very much. I know they would want you to stay briefly. They will see you before you go.